views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Hi, welcome. This is Dr. John DeMartini. This is one of the most amazing and inspiring shows that you can listen into. If you want to be on the edge of your seats, if you want to open up your heart, if you want to expand your mind, and you want to meet incredible people, stay tuned because you're just about to experience a transformative radio show that will change your life. And you're listening to the Dr. Pat Show that's coming up right next.
The following audio is via a Skype call.
Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show. Talk radio to thrive by. Powerful, inspiring, and coming to you live, bringing you stories of people like you and me busting through and living life full out. Get ready to dare to wonder what your life would be like if you knew you could not fail.
Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You know, I am so happy today to be connecting with all of you. But most importantly, I've got my friend joining me here today, Colette Marie Stefan. Now, what does this mean? Today's show is Thanksgiving with Appreciation. And Colette's going to define this in the way of her dragons from Tales from the Vector. I'm going to define it from my street smart sense of what this means. And so we were talking a little bit, and somebody said to me, and I'll tell you in a minute, but let me tell you about her. Magical is an understatement for who she is and what she brings to the world. She's a speaker, she's an author, she's a fabulous, incredible artist, but most importantly, she's an innovator. It's not just her sense of humor that makes her show, The Truth is Funny, that makes her message all about positivity but change. It is more about the energy of who she is, what she brings to the earth, and what she shares with the world. And so when we think about who she is, her education, her background, all of the hard work that she has done to become whom she is today, we also step back and think, shift or get off the pot. Colette.
Hi, Pat. Thank you so much for having me on the show. My dad used to say that, something like that. He was an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And he was a little bit impatient at times. Plus, he lived with 8 siblings.
Oh, I know. And that came from my stepmom. And then Benny helped us enunciate that properly so that we don't have an FCC problem.
Thank you.
There we go.
Appreciate it.
Did we do a good job, Benny?
You did real well.
Okay,
Thank you.
We did for real. All right, good. Yeah, we did it for real. So today's show, for all of you out there, I just want you to be aware. It is a live call-in show. The live call-in show today is to demonstrate, as Joe and I were talking about in the last show, if Viktor Frankl could create a whole platform of how to change one's mind and attitude in the middle of a concentration camp, not understanding, am I going to live or am I going to die, helping others do the same, then what is it that Colette Marie and I can do today to help you know that there is literally nothing in the world that can stop you from Thanksgiving and appreciation. Nothing. And if you tap into that energy of Thanksgiving and appreciation 24/7, and I'm going to share what I learned that I use, fear cannot come in. Resentment cannot come in. It can't come in. They cannot exist on the same vibrational plane. Colette, what do you think about that?
Well, you said it brilliantly. And the reason I wanted to talk about that, of course, we had our Thanksgiving celebration here in Canada this last weekend. But previous to that, the 2 previous weekends, I was hosting seminars here in Kelowna, British Columbia, with my new Call to Dance program. And I love it because the manuals are coloring books, like those anatomy coloring books, only how to do energy. And I just had so much fun sharing this information in this way. But what always comes up is like we're entering into the holiday season soon. You guys will be having your Thanksgiving in a couple weeks here in November, and then we move into the Christmas season and all of that. This morning I had a radio show on The Truth is Funny. I was hosting, so I'm slipping back into interviewee mode. And I had Sharon Surdar on, and she had picked up, we always pick a card from the dragons, and the card that came up was indifference, which feels very much like what we're going to be talking about for this show also.
Yeah.
And that card, indifference, you can see that at tailsfromthevector.com. That's TAILS. But this is like a karmic space. And so what we were talking about this morning on The Truth is Funny is this very thing. A lot of people, when they're entering into the holiday season, we get really focused on, having to make it's an event and making the event successful and having a really, making it enjoyable, etc. The problem is for a lot of people that if you use the word grateful, and a lot of people are told to practice gratitude, many people, I'm getting like something like 87% of people, unless they're shifted energetically, will have a weakness to the word gratitude and grateful. And it comes up from having to be grateful for past experiences or pretend gratitude. And so that's a leading weakness here. And just what you said about, the concentration camp and that if someone can master themselves and pull themselves together and be grateful and appreciative in a situation like that, then there's hope for all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the first books I think I ever read. I went to school for psychology, but that is not what turned me on to something different for my life. Because if there was a T-shirt that said I am a victim, I would have had my name on it. That's my life. Think about it, Colette. Let's get real about this for a minute. When you look at a life, right, there are some people that had rough times. So for me, when people would ask me, hey, hey, what do you got going on? I didn't say it quite in these words, but it was really much longer. It was agonizing to talk to me when I was younger. It was agonizing. My gosh, agonizing. People were crying because here's where I would go. Oh, okay. So you want to know about me? Well, let me tell you. My mother was an alcoholic and drug addict. She had me as an alcoholic and drug addict. Nobody in my family talked about it. Here I was, this young child, loved my mother, loved her. She was great because alcoholics and drug addicts, they know how to hug you. When I was 6, she committed suicide. Off I went to Catholic boarding school. Guess what? Abused in Catholic boarding school. Oh, why me? And then I go on and I talk about what my life is like, and nobody understands me. I didn't understand myself. I didn't understand my identity. What happened? Got kicked out homeless at 17, begging for money in the Port Authority. Oh my God. And then you still don't get who I am. But wait a minute, I'm not done yet. Oh, I had to run into police with 19. Poor me.
That's the problem. That's the problem.
That's a problem.
That's a problem with the drama triad. If you're the person that is persecuting and you're judging others, or you're the person that is the victim saying, poor me, or you're the person that's going to be the rescuer, in that triad, there isn't a good place to be in that triad. The drama triad could go out the door. And this is, this thing about being grateful and appreciative, like the word gratitude really means showing thankfulness for. And the word appreciation, I kind of prefer, actually. There's way less people that are weak to appreciation, because appreciation is just, right now, currently, we use money to show appreciation for work people do for us, or, for an exchange in energy, an exchange in whatever we do. And appreciation means that you not just are thankful and grateful, but you understand the value of what the gift is that you were given. And so when you talk about everything that happened in your childhood, and when we could put that story, anybody listening to your story would say, Oh my God, what a sad story.
Yes.
Having said that, look what you've done with it. You see, rarely do people actually produce at a high level when they're in their comfort zone. And so, yeah, like you were not comfortable. So what happened after, you started off with a very rough beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And now look what's happening. So, I'd like to hear, like, from that perspective, what you feel you learned from that, like what benefited you from this gift of having such a challenging childhood.
So I got ready for today's show by looking at your dragon cards.
Okay.
Yep. And I started to look at the dragon cards, and I have a friend of mine that says, Pat, you got to write your book. You got to write your book. And I'm like, okay, I just want to talk about street smart stuff. That's who I am. I am about street smart spirituality, because more so than what I learned is how street smart I learned it. And I got to tell you that Linda, my best friend, and her family saved my life in 1973. Totally saved my life. But as I'm looking through your cards, what I'm really struck by is if I took your dragon cards, I could arrange them and they would tell the story. I'm older, right? So I'm a little bit old. I got a few years. But if I rearrange these cards, there isn't a card here that I looked at, and I did this over the weekend. I looked at these cards and I said, each of them is a touch point in some place in my life. But you asked the question that I want to ask our listeners. Are we ready to shift or get off the pot? And that's what today's show is about, to help people do that through appreciation and gratitude. Because today I can appreciate the dragon of reckless abandon, me.
Yes.
I can appreciate her. I can appreciate the dragon of expectation today. I can appreciate the dragon of sexuality today. And I can even appreciate the dragon of divorce. OMG. I never thought I'd say that. But here we are today. So I want to invite everybody here to join in as we open up the door for you. Invite the dragons in to the Conversation Appreciation with Colette Marie Stefan. And we're going to do readings for you. And I'm going to give you a really good street smart shift appreciation affirmation. 1-800-930-2819. 1-800-930-2819 to call in. You can go to transformationtalkradio.com and you can just type your question in or type what it is you want to shift. That's what today is about. If we're not shifting through appreciation and gratitude, then we are not getting off the pot, are we?
Yeah, anyone can sit and tell their story over and over and over again, and being caught up in the story, if you really think about it, your story from when you were a child up to the age of 7, that's when the subconscious mind is being formed. So really, your story is a conglomeration of what other people told you were like when you were a kid.
Yeah.
Up to that age. Well, and so many people operate most of the time, 95% of the time, on their subconscious mind. And so when we get triggered, when we have a lot of stress, when there's anxiety in our life, we have a tendency to go back to these reactions that we have from the subconscious mind, from our upbringing. And so it's once we understand that, we can stop that process and we can go inward. And we can just delete that thought, just like we would on a computer, and go to our heart and ask, what is it that I really want? What are my authentic desires? Many times I ask people, like, well, what do you want? And they don't know. And so when they don't know what they want, I say to them, well, then what don't you want? It's the opposite of that. You know?
Isn't that funny that we know what they don't want? Do you know what you don't want? Do you know what you don't want? Like today.
The life story, and it doesn't matter if you were raised in a very perfect life story growing up as a child, that you had the perfect parents and you were rich and you had everything and you never worried or any of that. Where's the spiritual and soul growth from that experience, you see? So we're not really just operating on this third dimension. We're operating as a soul, a spirit, and that's traveling in a human body. And so what seems like really crappy, you know, what happens to us in our third dimensional world, sometimes, you know, we're getting a lot of appreciation on other levels, in other dimensions, times, existence, and space of our soul's journey.
Well, you know, this is part why we're doing this today. And I want to just invite everyone. This show is for all of you. I mean, Colette and I have really gotten to look back at our lives, you know, independently and together, and, you know, what we're called to do in the world. And we are in, you know, you and I are called to be in service of others that need our help and support. I mean, I don't know when we made that decision. I don't know. I don't remember like waking up one day and say, oh, I think I'm going to do that. Did you do that?
Yeah, I about 11 years ago when, you know, it was around 2005, I had been through such a rough, what my dad would refer to as a rough patch. And I wrote about that in the Life Sparks, you know, book, a short story in there about my dad and what happened and how I got into this work. But it wasn't a gentle little push. It was like a throw, you know, like it was in the way of dragons, you know, jump off the cliff, see if you can fly.
Yeah.
And, you know, the thing is that, yes, I remember distinctly when I realized that what a gift I had been given, that I had gone to this, you know, talking event, like I give people, I call it Shift Happens live talk events.
Yeah.
And I demonstrate how easily people can shift energetically and take something that's just like really, really crappy and and it's not like turning it into a positive, getting neutral to what happened and making strong choices then to move forward in a strong way. And it's not about a person being weak, a weak person or a strong person. It's about the energy that is underlying, that it is supportive and it's in alignment with the person's goals. And sometimes, you know, we can get really caught up in third dimensional goals and we have no idea, you know, about the other aspects of ourselves. So when I remember distinctly leaving that event and saying, I was born to do this. Mm-hmm. And we all were. We all are. We're all born to be the best version of ourselves.
Yeah. You know, we're talking about appreciation and gratitude, and we're talking about being the best versions of ourselves. Before I keep talking here, I just want to let everybody know we have opened up the phone lines for anyone that wants to call in and wants to get a fabulous reading, a dragon card reading, and a special affirmation. We're here for all of you. 1-800-930-2819. One of the things people don't know about Viktor Frankl, Colette, is that we look at him and this man in this concentration camp that did some extraordinary things. But if you go back and you look at him before that, this is a man who knew that he wanted to create a social democratic youth movement for high school students in Austria. And so like in the 20s, late 20s, he was a medical student and he organized a special program to counsel high school students free of charge. And off he went and he teamed up with a couple of other people. And, you know, he paid special attentions to students when they got their report cards. What a concept. What a concept.
Yes.
You know, and because it was so here's the deal. This is a history of student and study where students would commit suicide based on a report card. Does that sound familiar to like the time we live in now?
Yeah.
During this tenure, not a single student committed suicide.
And what was the difference?
Right.
The difference was that card that you picked, indifference.
Yes.
And that card is of that cute little unicorn baby.
Yep.
And a rainbow and pretty flowers. And it's basically a picture of a puzzle, but there's some pieces missing. Mm-hmm. And the underlying pieces that are missing in this puzzle are, if you look closely at that card, it's pictures in black and white of homeless people struggling on the street. And so for myself, I just find that I enjoy life more when the people around me are also having fun. And I find it kind of challenging to enjoy even going into an expensive restaurant while I walk over homeless people who are not eating. It's,
Oh, yeah.
you know, it's just how I am. Like I prefer to have more evenness in life. And so, you know, the indifference card is you know, we are all in it together. We are a work in progress. There is a lot of problems happening on the planet right now. There are a lot of people who are really, really challenged right now. The systems don't seem to be benefiting the masses. And there's a lot happening. But this has always been happening. The major difference we have now is we have more access to information. And so because we have more access to information, we are given more and more choices. And as people have more and more information in it, and it's available to more and more people, we can no longer pretend that we don't know what's happening in the world. We can't sit here and pretend that there are children in this world that are that we can't say, oh, there's no children in this world that are starving right now.
Yeah.
Or, you know, animals that are being abused, or people that are homeless in the streets, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Having said that, who are we to judge their experience? Really? You know, and having said that, what I've learned from doing all this energy work is that all of us are able to do it. We are all, it improves every aspect of life. I've taught this to thousands of people, and now I'm teaching it in this, like, the way that I really like to, which is a very simplified form, because this is like just common, like, decency is what's coming up here. And so many people, like, we don't hear about all the wonderful good things people do.
Yeah.
That's not what we mostly hear. And so we just want to strengthen ourselves to that,
Yes.
you know, searching for those grateful moments ourselves. And, you know, if you go to sleep at night and you're laying in bed and you're thinking about, oh, I'm not going to be able to pay the bills. I'm so worried. What are we going to do? I'm in fear. I'm in fear. I'm in fear. What's going to happen is when you fall asleep, your subconscious and unconscious mind will keep working. Your conscious mind will be asleep. And so when you wake up, like, throughout the night, a lot of these thoughts are going to be coming, these negative thoughts are coming in. So that's why I like to, before I fall asleep, I like to get in touch with things that I appreciate that happen during the day.
Yeah.
And fall asleep to those good thoughts.
Yeah.
And we can always find something we're appreciative for, always.
Yeah. I love talking about this because, you know, I went through this last night. And I found myself, wow, I don't even know where to begin. I found myself in this place where everybody knows me, Dr. Pat on radio. So there aren't many people, except for like you maybe, and the people that we work with directly, that know some of these other things I'm involved with, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for example, and this is interesting. I pulled a dragon card the other day about this. This is interesting. I have this other project, which is to create, you know, I'm part of a team. I'm not the owner of the project. I am an equity partner in the project. I'm not but we've got a project to create an entire new platform for addiction and recovery and wellness all together in a campus environment. And we've been working on the project plan for 18 months, put it together, even got investments. You know, we've been approved for the first 100 million. We need 300 million. And we needed seed money to open up that 100 million. So off we go, right? And we find a fabulous woman from Mexico that is going to contribute and so forth. And a short-term loan, not even money. We don't even need the money. Massive car accident. Her boyfriend dies the day she's getting ready to drive to sign the papers. So there's a story we could tell ourselves about that.
Yeah,
right?
it you know, that divorce card just is coming up big time, right?
Right.
Because the divorce card is actually, and this may seem weird to some people, but the divorce card is actually the relationship insurance card, because divorce is actually, the worst divorce is the divorce from source. And that card is actually about strong relationships. And so, yes, there's been a lot of very strange happenings happen. A person that I work with just purchased a property and was planning to in Costa Rica, and was planning some, to go there, and she just had a mudslide, 2 weeks after she purchased it. And we ask, why are these things happening? Well, if we don't judge it as being a bad thing, then the one thing that is going to save us is our relationships with people. So there's a reason why this woman, why all of this happened. And so, strengthening that situation for her, major transition there for her.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly. Not only that, all of your prayers and your energy shifts. So I didn't end up with the conversation of why did it happen to us on the project? Because I immediately went to, let's go. Okay, we know what we need to do. I thought about how heartbreaking. It's like I'm trying to get a hold of her and text her to ask her how she's doing. Where do you think she lives? In Mexico.
Yes.
Mexico City.
Yeah.
The earthquake.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, gratitude and appreciation is what's called for here. And
well, if you look at
prayers, because it can't be about us, really.
Right.
The minute we make everything about us, that is really not an energy that serves the world.
What's coming up is another card in the deck, the need to be right, which is also a karmic space. And so that card has like a tornado in it, and it's got, the energy of that movement. A lot of people are not aware that there's a lot of human emotion controls weather patterns. And there's a lot of grief and sadness in Mexico right now. A lot of confusion, a lot of, and a lot of this was directed in the previous 2 years by the talk around Mexicans in the USA.
Oh, there's no question about it.
And so
there's no question about it, right?
And so we're just going to but see, this is what's so beautiful when you think about this, Pat. When you think about that man in the concentration camp, what one person can do. And then, we usually hear about maybe what one person was also Hitler, right? And so quite often we hear about what one person can do in a negative way. And we can also hear about what one person can do in a positive way. And then we can get neutral to that. And it's so interesting because just as I talk now, there's sirens going by the house. And this is the type of energy that comes up when people get into some turbulent emotion. And so we want to just strengthen everybody to recognize that every day we have the choice to, we can't control everything that happens around us, but we can control our attitude.
Yep. I love it. We're going to take a short break, Colette, because when we come back, we're going to go to the phones.
All right.
And what I love about this, we can control our attitudes. And you said this earlier today. We can control our heart space. Our heart space. What does that mean? What can we do with our heart space in the face of whatever is in front of you? Maybe you're plugged in to what's going on in the news and in politics if you're in this country. But what can you do differently? What is it about all of us that could come together and create something truly that the world is calling for? Colette Marie Stefan is amazing.
Unconditional love.
Oh, yes. When we come back, we're going to go to the phones, 1-800-930-2819. Karen, we're going to get right with you. Thank you for your patience. We'll be right back.
Take a breath. As the Buddha described, Once you hear the truth, it's not going to rest until it becomes fully available in your awareness.
In this day and age, if you don't reinvent yourself, you may never find balance, peace, and the sustainable life that is your birthright. Angela Watson Robertson, known as the Reinvention Warrior and the host of breakthrough radio show Masters of Reinvention, is here to help you reinvent every area of your life. Tune in and hear from the best in the personal transformation business and discover tips and tools for positive change. Live every month on Transformation Talk Radio.
Integrate spirituality into your everyday lives on Universe Soul Heart Radio. Tune in each month on Transformation Talk Radio as Kathleen Johnson explores the concept of sensible spirituality, keeping you grounded, connected, and centered on the path to wholeness. Kathleen has dedicated her life to facilitating holistic healing and wholeness in others. Listen to Universe Soul Heart Radio and learn how to flourish, grow, and impact all we do on planet Earth. For more information, go to universesoulheart.net.
Get ready to experience Truth Talk Radio with host Deb Acker. Tune in to Truth Talk Radio each Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com to illuminate the truth in your daily life as you experience life, love, and abundance from a whole new perspective. This hit show will leave you feeling lighter and bring you into a place of infinite possibilities every day in every way. Visit TruthTalkRadioshow.com for upcoming transformative topics and guests.
What is a brilliant culture? And how do we create them? Why are they important? Claudette Rowley has created a breakthrough 5-step process to help you design a culture that is authentic, innovative, and successful. Learn how to create change with Cultural Brilliance Radio, the DNA of organizational excellence, and Claudette Rowley. To learn more or work with Claudette, visit ClaudetteRowley.com.
On the cutting edge of the new mainstream, Christine Upchurch is passionate about bringing together science, psychology, and spirituality in a way that can be applied to our everyday lives for true transformation. The Christine Upchurch Show, stellar conversations to illuminate your journey, engages some of the most outstanding visionaries on the planet in lively dialogue to inspire you to become that bright light you're meant to be. Join Christine every Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific Time on KKNW, AM 1150, and Transformation Talk Radio.
Tune in to the hit show Raging Skillet Radio, Mouthing Off with Chef Rossi. Chef Rossi mouths off about different subjects in pursuit of breaking down walls and opening up your minds. She and Dr. Pat banter back and forth, taking from the headlines of the day on subjects that reach beyond what goes on in the world into your hearts. And go to theragingskillet.com to find out more and let Chef Rossi know what's on your mind.
Some blessings happening in your life and you don't even know about them yet. There's some blessings happening. Begin by counting the ones you can see.
Hey, everybody. It's so great to have all of you tune us in, turn us on. I'm Dr. Pat.
I'm Colette Marie Stefan.
You almost forgot.
I almost forgot who you were,
right? Betty's like,
you know me, I was shifting. I was in the zone. I was just picking up some energy coming in here.
Total. And, we're going to go to the phones here in a hot second. Thank you for your patience, everyone. But before we do, Colette, how can people listen to the radio show? How can they find out more about the dragon cards? Because these dragon cards also make great gifts. That's what I've discovered.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you. www.thetruthisfunny.com. And you can also reach me at Tails, Tails, from thevector.com and at energeticupgrade.com. They all lead back to the Truth is Funny site. I do have the radio show Wednesday mornings, 8 o'clock a.m. Pacific time. I use that radio show as a vehicle to allow people to call in and get energetic shifting for free so that they can experience what it's like to let go and have this instant feeling of relief, And I also have a blog, Adventures of an Activated Goddess, and I have, I do Shift Happens live talk events. That's about a 2-hour talk where I explain how this works and pull people up from the audience and actually show them how it actually works. So I've got all of these things happening, and at this time I've started a new program that I've been working on for 11 years called To Dance Seminars, and they use the dragons from Tales from the Vector. These dragons are a project that I started 11 years ago. And just in the past couple of years, I have now got 44 of the cards completed and expect to, by the end of this year, have another 12 or so. So I'm almost at the end of this journey of painting these huge paintings. They're embedded with crystal energy, with all the energetic shifts. Some of them, the longest it's taken me to do a painting is 3 years. And the shortest I was able to do one of the big dragons was in 2 months. And so this is a labor of love, you could say. But yeah, that's right. And I will be at the Holistic Fair this coming Sunday from 11 to 4 if people are in the Kelowna area. And I will be having another Layer 1 Call to Dance seminar on February 3rd and 4th. So there's just lots happening right now.
There is. And we're going to get to the phones. And I want to say, Benny, what is the local phone number, the 425 number? Because some people can't call in, I guess, from Canada with our 800 number. So I got to check on that. What is the local number for people?
Sure, we have two. We have a toll-free number, and then we also have another one. So I'll give them both out. It's 888-298-5569, which conveniently spells out KKNW on the end, 888-298-5569, or 425-373-5527. If you're writing it down, 425-373-5527.
And Rhonda, I just want to tell you, Rhonda, I'm going to read your thing here after we go to the phones. And I did get your instant message. Thank you for going into our instant message interface. Rhonda from British Columbia. I will read this in a hot minute. I think it's going to make me cry. But let's go to the phones first, Benny.
Sure. We will travel to Renton. We have Karen joining us. Hello, Karen.
Karen.
Hi.
Hello, Karen.
Hello, Colette. Pat.
Hello.
Thank you.
Thank you for being so patient on the whole button, okay? Thank you.
You bet. I guess my question is more along the lines of just an animal about animals. I'm definitely drawn to dragons, and I'm taking care of some animals right now, and I just feel like there's going to be a future somehow with animals, and I think maybe that's the question I have.
All right. What comes up right away, the dragon card that comes up right away is also a karmic space, the karmic space of intention. And that's my pet card. It's got a picture on it of my Ella the Enchanting, who is my Tibetan Terrier. And I was in ayahuasca ceremony, and I had previously put her down, and she came to me in ceremony. And I saw her in all these beautiful colors playing in the snow and being honored as a mountain dog. And she's kind of what's important to recognize when it comes to animals is that what's coming up for you. What kind of animals are you looking after?
Horses.
Yeah, I have so many horse people come my way.
Yeah.
And so what's coming up as soon as you say that, unfettered, is the card that is also coming up. Unfettered is about your heart. It's about what Pat was talking about earlier, not just your physical heart, but when people get in touch with what they really want, what their purpose is, what they really truly want to do, I'm just going to strengthen you to that you can get in touch with not just your physical heart, but if people do feel their heart beating, what will happen is if you put some energy into your spine and you feel your heart beating, you can even put your hand on your heart, it quite often will calm people down because you'll notice your heart has a rhythm. And so we want to strengthen you in particular. This is for everybody, but for you in particular to reach your goals is to be very aware of the rhythm of your heart and that there's also a rhythm of the earth right now. And horses have huge hearts. And a lot of the people that I work with, that work with horses that are, do a lot of work with children. And because horses have such a strong spine, and when you sit on them, you can actually feel the energy coming off that horse, and you can really get in touch with their heart. And so we just strengthen all of that for you. So it's coming up, the intent card, the unfettered, which is about the universal heart, the heart chakra, and the physical heart. And then the other one that came up is joy. And that card is the heart of Isis. And that's a little dragonfly. And that is about what's coming up for you is that embracing this. It's like you have this maternal feeling for the entire world is what's coming up. And so strengthening you to that you're that you can be in a position where you have perfect communication with the horses and also with the people and with the work that you want to do. And so just strengthening that you're going to attract that like a magnet. And the reason why is because when you think about horses right now, what's the word that you would use to describe the feeling that you get from horses?
Freedom.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go. And so freedom is the reckless abandon card, which is about decluttering. So I'm getting for you, declutter, I don't know your physical environment that you're in, but the less cluttered your physical environment is, the more easy it is to declutter the mind. And when you have focus and you strengthen, I'm just strengthening you to this, that this is going to be your goal that you attract with joy. Not with hard work. Working with horses is hard work, wouldn't you say?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's not like a horse is, they're big,
it's hard emotional work. It's hard emotional work because, right, you know this, Karen, you know that if you walk up to a horse afraid, what happens?
They're immediately afraid.
Yeah. They're not going giddy up, let's go. They're going, don't you come near me.
That's right.
If you get on me, if you think you are going to get on me, let me tell you, I'm going to make sure you're not on me very long, right?
That's right. They know it.
They know it. So I have an affirmation for you.
Yeah.
Colette, do you think I should do this now?
Absolutely. It feels strong. Like she feels strong to her choices around this.
Yes,
it's just about getting more efficient with her time is all that's coming up.
Yes. So what I want to do is I want to bring in the belief and the energy of abundance, if you don't mind.
I think that's beautiful.
Yeah. Horses are powerful. They don't think about, oh, I'm too weak to make that jump. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? They're like, I am massively strong. And so what are our mental reactions and our emotional reactions? So there's a law we don't talk about. We all talk about the law of attraction. I want to talk about the law of being. And, this is what I want to say. And I'm going to give you like an affirmation for this, but it's more like a little prayer. Do you believe like in a higher power or a spirit or something like that? Because I don't want to offend you if you don't.
Absolutely.
Okay. So let's learn how to think abundantly for a moment if we could. So let's think about the vastness of everything, the limitlessness of space, the numberless grains of sand on the seashore, on the beach, anywhere you've ever been, in the desert. How absolutely abundant, how lavish. I love lavish. I love lavish, my new word. Absolutely. Love lavish. So now let's learn how to see the abundance in everything. Everything. Now let's get ready. Let's multiply the good that you, Karen, already have. Now, let's multiply it. Let's be consciously one with the law of abundance, this moment and every moment. Expectancy. Yes, it's going to speed up everything that you're asking for. In this moment, this is it. I believe in the law of good. I believe in that with every ounce, every cell in my body. I'll bring every good and every perfect thing to me, and I will bless everyone, everything, every animal that I contact. Now think about the thing you so desire. Think about it, feel it, touch it, breathe it, smell it. Now say with me or feel with me in that thing that we desire. I know that the law of good is operating upon this idea through me, around me, within me, and I speak the word with absolutely implicit confidence. self-assured, strength of conviction, belief, and acceptance. And I know this like I breathe my very breath, that I shall not return unto me void. I know everything I experience, I shall experience the good of which I now affirm. That's what you got.
I love it, Pat.
Wow, that's powerful.
Well, you picked the horse. I mean, I had to give you something like that, Karen.
Hey, I have to laugh, Pat, because my dad loved going to the races.
Oh, yeah.
And
oh, my God.
He would take us to the races with him to give my mom a break on the weekends, you know?
Yeah, I'm not surprised. And, we can do a whole story on gambling, why people would drag me to the racetrack and the casino, but that's another show. Karen, thank you so much for today. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you both. Yes, so much.
Thank you, Karen.
All right. Let's go to the phones. We have somebody. Benny, who do we have?
Maria from Mexico. Hello, Maria. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Maria. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hi, Maria.
How are you?
Hi.
Buenos dias.
Muy buenos. Buenas tardes por acá. Hola, Pat. ¿Cómo estás?
Oh, yeah, exactly, right? I got the wrong time of day. My bad. How can we help you today? Thank you for calling in.
Oh, well, thank you. I have multiple cramps.
Benny, did we lose Maria?
No, she's there. You had multiple. What was it, Maria?
Yeah. My problem is that I'm having a lot of muscle cramping.
Muscle
cramping.
Cramping.
Oh, my gosh,
calambres
me
en los
too.
músculos.
Me too.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Oh, my God. Okay, go ahead.
Where is the cramping?
Well, contractures in my back, like in my left scapula, and then the cramps go in my feet and in my left top.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is coming up, like I said, non-physical. And so what's coming up is that it's coming up that you're something is cramping your style.
There we go.
And it's coming up that a deluge, actually, of collective influence in Mexico. And so we want to strengthen this, sending all this energy. I'm getting that you are kind of pulling in a lot of energy from a lot of the fears that a lot of people have in Mexico at this time, and not just the people in Mexico, but the people outside of Mexico that don't want this to happen to them either. And so all their fears about their relatives and everything from the earthquake and that. And I'm just getting that what's happening is your exit portals. We have, like, energetically, our palms and our soles of our feet are very good places to let go of energy. The other way best to let go of energy in the physical body, whether it's emotional or psychological or mental at root cause, is to have a bowel movement. And so we want to strengthen that for everybody, that, the colon is the most efficient way to clear toxins, poisons, whether they be like the physical, as I said, or toxic thoughts, etc. And so we want to strengthen that for you. And I'm just talking about spinning some black holes into your lymphatic system. I'm just getting that you're kind of almost like this is really interesting, because this morning one of the callers who called in also had this pain in her scapula and had like on the left side. And so, the left side is your feminine. And this is about kind of carrying the burdens of the world on your shoulders, and then bending over backwards for people in the lower back is coming up weak for you right now. So like having to bend over backwards for others and bend over backwards just to have a regular, it's coming up being able to move forward. So we're just going to strengthen all of those things for you. All of the energy. Another way, when people are processing thoughts and reactions that are kind of crappy, they tend to have a bowel movement. If they're angry, a little bit pissed off, they'll urinate. And we want to strengthen that. You don't have to sweat it, because you don't want to use your sweat system to clear energy because it's very stinky, just for that reason alone. And so don't be alarmed if you find that in the next few days that you're kind of stinky. Because I'm correcting right now for you to let this go in your body so that your body doesn't get beat up by all these thoughts. And so, people will cough when they're not feeling like they're able to express themselves. That's another form. Yawning is another form of clearing energy and allowing it to leave your body. And so, with, going through the crown chakra, through the base chakra, we're going to strengthen all these exit portals for you so that you can just push the energy out of your body and not try to contain all this emotion and all these thoughts that are kind of like twisting you out of shape is what's coming up and cramping your style. And so just checking in with you, what are you experiencing right now?
Oh, lighter and cooler. It's just my body's like numb.
Okay.
So yes, it's been a lot of information after 2 earthquakes plus.
Yeah. You don't need to remember what I said. I'm behind what I said.
Yeah. And I'm
behind
with you.
What I said. I'm doing a lot more energetic shifting.
Yeah.
And I can't voice it all. I mean, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of things coming up. And I want to thank you for being so gracious as to call in with this, because I'm getting that we're clearing energy for all of Mexico right now.
Yeah. And can I give you this affirmation and then I'll let you go? You ready for it?
Oh, yes. And I would love like a dragon card that aligns me for the next step in my life, please.
We got a few minutes.
Okay,
you want to do the dragon card and I'll do the affirmation?
Okay, go with the affirmation and I'll pick a dragon card by the time you're done your affirmation.
Okay. So here's where we're going to go with this. This is about the body. So the idea of the body and the environment we live in gives us the illusion of unworthiness, and we're going to shift that. My body is a temple of the living spirit. It is spiritually substance. Every part of my body is in harmony. You get this, Maria? Every part of your body is in harmony with the living spirit within you, absolutely in every cell you have. This is the life of the divine spirit as it's flowing through you, every atom of your being, revitalizing, reinvigorating, renewing every particle of your physical body. There's a pattern. It's a pattern of perfection. It's right at the core. It's at the center of your being right now, right here. It's operating through every organ, every function, every action, every reaction. Your body is a divine idea forever renewed by the spirit. Mucho amor y felicidad.
Love it. And the card.
That was a big one. Cool.
That's a big one. Thank you, Maria.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. And
awesome.
Pat, the card for her is number 23, and it's expression. It's about homeostasis of the body. My soul is home.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you so much for calling in. Now, Rhonda, I didn't forget you. We got a couple of minutes. Rhonda, I want to appreciate you, Pat and Colette. Oh, am I going to be able to read this without crying? I want to appreciate you, Pat and Colette, with all of you on this amazing team to make this happen. I called into the show about a year ago having issues where I lived and needed a new home. I do have my new home, and more shift has been happening. I called a few more times. My life has shifted so much. With love and more appreciation, Rhonda. Happy birthday, Benny. My phone wouldn't let me call in. This is why I did this way. And Miss Jessica, if you're listening to this, we got to get our phone number for Canadian people to work. And Benny, I know it's not your birthday, but I think what she's saying is we want you to go celebrate.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you.
You know what? It was Brian's birthday this morning.
Oh, Brian. Well, Brian and Benny, it's okay. Go celebrate for
celebrate for all of us, Benny.
Wow. What a powerful show. Colette, we should do this more often. What's the best way for people to find out about you? The Truth is Funny. How can they schedule a full session with you? All of the above.
all of that, you can go to www.thetruthisfunny.com. For the private sessions, it says private consultations, and you can just book it right there. It's a very good system. Thank you, Jessica. And yeah, for the radio show, Transformation Talk Radio, WBLQ is also, it's available through them and through my website. The archives are playing usually within 24 hours after. You can reach me. You can look up under live events at my Shift Happens live talk events, and also at my upcoming Call to Dance events, the seminars. And as I said, and you can purchase the manuals for Call to Dance actually on The Truth is Funny under products. And the correcting cards and the artwork and the paintings are all available at www.tails.com. And so on that, you can find a little write-up about each of the dragon cards and what they do.
And maybe we need to do one of these shows once a month. I don't know what we'll call it. But I think we got something here that we can do to support our listeners together, right?
I love this, Pat. I always love working with you, and I want to thank you so much for this opportunity and all the opportunities you're providing for so many people. I mean, what a team. Like, I feel so blessed to have you and your team backing me right now.
I love this team. And, people ask me, "Oh, Pat, how did you do it? What'd you create?" I didn't do it. I can't. I mean, honestly, the entire team.
If it wasn't for Jessica, I don't know.
Oh my gosh, I gotta tell you, if it wasn't for Jessica coming in as an intern and learning everything, and now being the boss of me, if it wasn't for Justin pushing all the right buttons that he does on TTR, Benny does it over here on KKNW. If it wasn't for Linda scheduling every call. She is relentless.
I know.
People, Kim doing everything from graphics, fabulous Michael, fabulous Ellen, fabulous Megan, everyone on the team pitching in.
The preceding audio was via a Skype call.